Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd, and as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
What happens when you mix a dark and snowy night, a jackhole in a pickup truck transporting genetic research material, and a convicted murderer on his way to the electric chair? I'll tell you what you get. You get the 1997 B-movie hit, quote-unquote, Jack Frost. And that's what we're talking today.
Oh, this movie. I did not like this movie.
Was this another one of the movies that we all was our first go around?
It was
I thought
mine
I'd
first.
seen it before, but I guess not. So, yeah, I guess this was my first time
I think
as well.
he was thinking it was another
Okay,
movie.
so this is back-to-back weeks where we've done...
Yeah, it's very weird. We didn't even talk about it beforehand.
No.
But anyway, this
This
horrible
movie makes Blood Rage look like The Godfather.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I would go that
I
far.
would go as far as...
Acidic solution is what it was. Genetic research acidic solution.
Why is
Where
he
do
on
we-
his way to the execution chair 30 minutes before his fucking scheduled execution in a snowstorm?
That's the one. Here's my question for Hollywood. With any type of movie where there's some sort of transport, why do they always pick the shittiest conditions to do
I
it
don't
in?
know. And
It's-
he
okay,
would just
it's-
die in the prison that he was already in.
It's lazy writing
Writing.
material for you to be able to have an accident
Yeah.
because just so happens on the same night that they're hauling this genetic research shit in the big drum in the back of this truck
It's
where
just
this guy
way
is
too many
talking on his
coincidences.
cell phone, then he's pouring coffee, he's doing everything but fucking driving, all right?
I thought he was
It's
jerking
lazy
off
writing.
for a second because he was like tilted to the side. I'm like, what is this guy
Well,
doing?
he was on the phone. He had it like he was holding it with his shoulder and his ear.
Oh, okay.
And then later it shows him trying to steer while he's pouring coffee and stuff.
Yeah, and
so-
what were they? I think you mentioned it. Was it an old ice cream truck that
The- yeah,
transport
Looked like
truck
the
was?
execution transport
Yeah, the
truck. I'm like,
execution-
where's it just the like budget cuts? We need to.
And I love
we
that
got this
that-
old ice cream truck at auction. Is what it
Yeah,
was.
and I love that the execution truck only seems to have one working windshield wiper. Like they didn't
Yes.
even
Oh, that was
give it
horrible.
two?
And it was like, were these guys steering from the middle of the front? Because they were both
That's
like
what it
hunched
was.
together when the one wiper was going. I'm like, why are you guys so close? And they were total exposition. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the poor
Yeah, they
black
gave
guy
the
is like,
whole
why? What do you mean?
backstory,
Like, tell me
yes.
what happened.
Oh, they dive deep into that whole in the opening credits.
Oh,
even before,
yeah.
let's get into the opening
let's
credits.
go back to that story because the voice telling the story
Yeah.
per the trivia is the writer and director of this movie as well.
God, and why did they have like a fake kid, like a
Yeah, like,
little
you couldn't
tiny
get a
kid
real kid to do
voice?
that.
You couldn't get a kid, or you didn't have anyone that could do the audio a little bit better to make it sound like a kid. Like it was like someone's
Is that
shitty
just-
attempt at like
yeah.
a cartoon kid. Like, oh my goodness,
They're
Yes,
doing
you
the
go,
weird
what?
voice.
Why? Uncle Richard. Yes. You're scaring me. And I'm like, why? The opening
it was
credits.
almost like, are you trying to scare Elmo? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man?
And they're so like you can tell that they were a shoestring budget because they don't even have graphics for the intro credits. It's
What'd
all
they put 'em- they
on
put 'em
the
on the
tree.
ornaments?
They had to
wrote
go.
'em on the Christmas
They got the
tree
discount ornaments after Christmas was over,
Yeah.
and they just had somebody write them. Like, all right, who has the best handwriting
This
here?
is a Christmas movie.
They
We
just
can
did an
save
arts and
$50.
crafts thing
Yeah.
with a bunch of kids, which they probably could have gotten one of those kids to do it.
Oh, so bad.
I don't know. Those kids were pretty bad. His son was so fucking terrible.
They were
my
awful.
gosh.
They were all awful. There was not one
Okay,
good kid in this
it
whole
says
town.
something about this movie when Shannon fucking Elizabeth, in her first movie role ever, is the best acting performance in
No,
this whole fucking
no,
movie.
no, she's not.
she is
No,
for
she's
me.
not.
What was
She-
funny is
She's
when I
terrible,
saw,
but she's still better than everyone else in this fucking movie.
when
The
I saw her
sheriff was
name
shit.
pop up on the little ornament thing, I'm like, is that who I think it is? And then when you see her, I'm like, oh shit, it is her.
I honestly did not pay close enough attention to the credits to notice that was her, and I was super disappointed when I was like, fucking Shannon Elizabeth is in this movie. I'm real sad now because it's going to be twice as bad because Shannon Elizabeth is awful. She has
Would
not
you-
been good in anything.
Would
she
you
has
have rather
been in.
had Jessica? No, not Jessica. Jessica Alba.
Jessica
I
Alba.
almost said Jessica.
Oh, that's a
Biel.
close tie. I don't know. I don't know. Shannon Elizabeth is the worst.
I almost
like
want
the
to see
worst,
this movie
worst.
with Jessica Alba.
We
now.
gotta make
Let's-
a movie with both of them in
She
it.
would just be like, "Oh my god,
Just
my
for Angie.
brother's dead.
Let's just
I don't
let's
know
just
what to
recut
do."
Jack Frost and then cut out Shannon Elizabeth's parts, and we'll just throw in Jessica Alba from random other movies.
I will say, for her first movie, she did take on an ambitious role of getting raped by Jack Frost.
Is that what you want to call it? She just got humped to the side of the wall.
Well, his nose disappears, so I'm assuming it's supposed to
and
infer
he has that
he
whole Christmas
boned
came
her.
early
Yeah.
thing.
I
joke
don't know
that he
what they
makes.
were going for that, but I was confused. That was a weird death. He just humped her
I
to
was
the
just
side.
like, okay, at least she didn't show her tits.
Well, that's what really fat people look like when they're humping somebody skinny. Maybe I don't know.
Like they're consuming the other person.
Well, yeah,
Jesus,
You're just
Paul.
pushing him against the shower
Fat
wall.
shaming.
yeah.
Jesus.
I'm not fat shaming anyone. It's beautiful lovemaking.
Okay, let's get back to a little bit of the thing.
But
that I
do
thought
not
was-
film it from behind if you're doing like doggy style, because the fat person's going to completely block the skinny person.
It'll just look like a person standing
You're
there.
just look, or it looks like you're fucking the couch or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, that's a Ralphie May joke.
Okay, let's go back a little bit to where they had the opening credits and they credited out whatever studio it was for the animation effects for this awful snowman that they had.
Oh yeah, they were super jazzed about that company.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was, like Ultra Effects or something.
Yeah,
like,
it was something like-
it was super.
That kind of gave me a little hope. Okay, maybe the animation for the damn snowman is going to look at least somewhat decent, but oh no.
No, and I didn't even see
No.
much animation. It was they.
Well, I think that was- I
relied
think-
heavily on practical.
I think that was the
practicality.
company that built the snowman suit, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the,
think
whatever,
that's
whatever,
what it was.
whatever it was, they gave him a shout out, and when I saw that, I'm like, okay, maybe it's going to be something else.
Yeah, they
No.
presented like,
Nope.
oh yeah, like it was these guys. I'm like, okay, I've never
Yeah.
heard of them, but maybe they, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So we see Jack as being transferred, and exposition. He runs into the chemical company.
No, he monologues for a little while.
Oh, he
first.
monologues
because he
kills
was
a
gonna
cop.
kill. He was
Yeah.
gonna kill the driver.
Oh my god, that driver. Like, I was like, does this guy know where he is? And not just like his character, but the actual
Like
guy.
the guy, like the
yeah,
actual
like I'm
person.
like, is he confused about what movie he's in?
He
Because
might have been.
like he has some facial expressions sometimes. I'm like, do you know where you are right now?
Okay, well, look at it this way. This is the way that I was thinking about this movie. Like Troll 2, we had that explanation of like they were all just wanting to be extras, and they ended up getting like starring roles.
Yeah.
But it's like they were just kind of thrown in the middle of it with no acting experience.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in
blame
this movie was
Was an
purposely acting,
Was acting.
purposely acting in this movie.
Yes.
And I stand by it. Shannon Elizabeth was still the best acting performance in this fucking movie.
Meh.
She played a stupid ditzy girl, and that's exactly who she
what
was
she
in this
plays.
movie.
That
Yeah.
there's no character that she's
Okay.
played that isn't stupid ditzy girl, and
But
she can't even do that
did
right.
she did good at it compared to everyone. Everyone else around her made her look amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody else had pretty shitty performances. Even that.
We can
god-awful snowman.
agree to disagree because I will die on this hill. If Shannon Elizabeth is the worst ever.
I'm not saying she's great. I'm saying in this movie,
No.
who is
no.
better than her? Jack
Yeah,
Frost.
who was better in the movie?
I said I will die on this hill. Okay. So you guys
Alone?
will- alone. I will.
Okay.
I'll send Shannon Elizabeth up there to come fetch you.
But anyway, when we see the chemical after he finishes monologuing,
That was the only animation part about it.
it was the blood cells, and I was like, "This was fucking 1997. You could have probably made better graphics on your home computer than what
I've
they
seen
made."
better graphics on video games on the
I was
original
like, "Fucking
PlayStation
Jurassic Park
than this.
came out in '93."
It reminded me of one of those old those videos you would watch in school on the projector. It was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
science. And it's like that horrible kind of animation,
like from the 80s,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, it was an old video.
Or I don't know.
that-
My school was poor, so I think all ours were
could
from
have
the
been
70s.
Yeah.
Still, though, that was bad. If any money they had, they probably blew the budget on that.
I think they still owe people money for making this movie.
They might.
They owe me my time.
They owe.
back.
Yeah, they owe me my time too.
This movie, I couldn't even enjoy it for a B movie. I wouldn't even say it was a B movie because it wasn't even like they didn't take super gory. They didn't do super cool kills. Like I was just
No,
like,
there's no real redeeming factor about this
no,
movie.
not at all.
Because like when we watch Blood Rage, I'm like, it's cheesy and all, but it's still
it's
entertaining.
got the kills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's entertaining.
It's got
some good gore. Like there was stuff to redeem
But
the fucking
this
movie.
one, I'm just like, this is just like if the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy got up and started killing people, because that's what it looks like. Is that bad?
It was
so
a really
basically,
bad-
you mean like Ginger Dead Man?
Ginger Dead Man.
I have to say, and this is the only
Okay,
movie that I will ever say.
Jack Frost versus Ginger Dead Man. What you
Ginger
think?
Dead Man is by far superior to Jack Frost, and that's
Oh,
sad.
That's
sad.
Oh. I don't. Sal, have you seen Ginger Dead Man?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
All
but
right,
I can only
we
imagine.
need to. I think we might need to do Ginger Dead Man as like a mini
Oh,
mini episode.
We for sure need to do a mini episode on Ginger Dead Man. Maybe for Christmas. It's
okay.
Christmassy gingerbread. Yeah, it works.
Let's do Ginger Dead Man, and then I think we need to have a podcast where we discuss Ginger Dead Man versus Jack Frost
We
Oh,
can.
and all their
okay.
horrible glory.
In the
Oh, my
death
goodness.
match.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
No, I want Ginger Dead Man versus Jack Frost versus Evil Bong.
That's Evil Bong will just get everybody high. She'll take him into her magical self that has a strip club inside.
the magic strip club inside of her.
Have you seen Evil Bong?
No.
Oh my God! So
We watched it one night, and Tommy Chong is on the poster.
They market this thing as they show Chong on the front cover.
Yeah, and
He's
the whole
in the
movie.
the whole movie. We're
I'm
waiting.
like, where's Tommy
Where is he?
Chong?
He's in the movie like right
2
before
minutes.
the end. It's literally 2 minutes of screen. If even
That's
that, 2 minutes
it.
of screen time.
And he literally shows up as like the Bong's
The
original
Bong's
master.
owner, and his whole thing is like, my wife sold it or somebody. She wasn't supposed to. All right, we gotta get Saul to watch this movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Saul, producer
It's
Kim,
happening. We're gonna do a death match.
We're gonna need to have the Scary Nerd Christmas party where we watch these horrible ass
Yes.
movies.
Scary Nerd Christmas Party.
It's
It's
a-
happening.
It's a corporate retreat.
Those are at least fun. I just did not have fun with this one, and I was so disappointed because I was like,
I
Christmas.
got bored.
I did too. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep.
I
I'm
was
like,
falling
what?
asleep.
Well, the couple false endings that they had, I'm like, okay, it's going to end now. And then I'm like, what the hell? It's still got another 10 minutes left of this crap?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we can't melt him. Let's try melting him.
Oh,
the melting worked this
Yeah,
time.
and it's so cliche. Like one of the kids literally dies in a tragic sledding accident. Like
And they blame the kid
it's
thinking
not
that he killed
dun
the other
dun
one.
dun. It's actually the snowman, but that's what happens. It's
This
a
is
tragic
exactly why I won't
sledding
go ice
accident.
skating. I don't want to get my fingers chopped off. Nothing.
I've tried for years to get Paul to go ice skating.
I won't do it either just because of that.
I don't. wanna
I've
get,
seen what
I
happens
will,
on hockey
I will
rinks.
fall.
Are
and
brown
someone.
guys just scared of ice skating?
We're not. We're not a tropic. We're okay. We're not a
winter
Arctic people.
people.
Okay,
Yeah, we're not winter
there's
people.
a reason we don't come from places that have fucking snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, fair enough.
and I've seen all of you ice skating and skiing, and okay, how do people die? Huh? I've never like skateboarded into a fucking tree in a forest and died. Like people will ski and hit a tree and be like, oh, they're dead. There's
Well,
nothing we
people
can do.
skateboard into cars going down the roads and shit.
That's because they're
But that's
stupid
not-
and they
but
don't know what they're
cars
doing.
are moving, not trees aren't moving.
Yeah.
It's just your dumbass. Let's put something slick on your feet and roll down ice on a treacherous
Fair
mountain.
enough.
sound
I
like
don't get
fun.
Yeah.
skiing either. I don't think that
Okay,
there's any real
this
skill
is
to it.
how.
But anyway, we gotta get
No, this is how shitty Jack Frost is. That we're talking about
I know.
everything but
we
Jack
are.
Frost.
We
in
Yes.
this
are
fucking
not
podcast.
focused on Jack Frost at all.
I've seen enough of Jack Frost that I don't want to talk about it. Let's
it's-
talk about something else.
Oh, I just
How was your day?
I don't think I've ever not been like ever sit down with a horror movie and been like, I can't enjoy this in some way.
One of the best things that I love about like B and like cheesy horror movies
Yeah, they're
Is
fun.
are great
yeah.
one-liners, and this one had terrible fucking one-liners. I don't
Oh,
know
they
why.
were awful. I
They were
wrote
just
one
the worst
down.
one-liners. Like the world's pissed off snow cone.
Yeah,
or
the
some
world's most
stupid
pissed off
shit like
cone,
that. Like,
snow
His
cone.
Jack Frost's one-liners were just horribly done. It
Oh.
reminded me of. Have you ever played like a really really bad PlayStation game
Yeah,
where you know that it was
like a
shit?
cheap one. Yeah,
like Roblox now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like the cheesy.
Where it's like a
sort of-
really,
yeah.
where
yeah.
it's a
You
really
just get like the
bad
cheesy
PlayStation
one-liners
game.
that
Yeah.
pop out. Yeah,
or one of those, and it's just those bad, horrible one-liners. That's kind of what.
But
Jack
even
Frost
those and
was.
like those crappy games are still like, that's entertaining.
No,
I will say
those things
the-
piss me off because you spend money or whatever need be to play those, and it sucks.
did like one of the deaths. I thought Christmas Tree of Death was cool, where he murders her with the Christmas tree.
I think the
that
end
was
result,
at least some blood.
The end result was good, but I think the initial where he's rapping, like where she like backs into him and he's like rapping her, like because all you see is this big flipper in the air going
Yeah.
cross,
Yeah.
like back and forth, and I'm like, how is that wrapping around? Like, how are you wrapping around
Yeah, it
her
didn't
with
make
your?
any
She's like
sense.
right in front of you.
And was that character like abused or slow?
I think she was slow.
I don't know. I think it was both.
I was like, is she in the upside
She
down
was
right now? Like,
abused
She
into
was
being
either
slow.
or no,
on
what's
some
not not the
meds.
upside down? What's the bad place?
The upside down.
No,
No, the dark place. Is it
The
the dark?
dark place from
Get out.
Get Out. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, the dark place.
The
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
place, yeah, the dark place, yeah, from Get Out. I was like, that's where she is, right? She's got her tea, like, like she's stuck there. She can't get out.
Even when in the beginning of the movie when like they're doing the snowman and all like the competition, they're all on the side or
Yeah.
whatever, and she's like, I always wanted to be the angel on the Christmas tree. He's like, are you gonna help me now or what?
Yeah, it's like that kid from A Christmas Story. It's like, I like the Wizard
Yeah.
of Oz.
And then he just
And
screams.
he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's like his whole character. And I'm like, what is going on with
She
this lady?
just seems so out of place
I don't
because she
know.
had those weird lines like that.
It was weird. Like she reminded me of the mom in Troll 2. Like she was like not there.
Yeah.
So maybe she was a little loopy, but I definitely think she was abused as well because he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I will,
Oh yeah, after the kid dies, and it's all he's like, "Stop telling me to calm down." and
I
all
know.
that.
She's
I'm
like,
like,
I just
it's
lost my
okay.
kid.
Let's put the lights on the Christmas tree.
It's
It's
like, your
fine.
kid just died, lady.
But that kid
Like,
was like
okay.
shit. Nobody really liked
no one
him,
cared.
right?
That's why she's
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna go bone my boyfriend. I don't even care. He's dead.
I know. It's like, I loved him. Her,
I
oh,
loved him, but I'm gonna go see Tommy now."
God,
so.
she's the worst.
And why did
Ugh.
she want to have sex in the sheriff's house?
I know. I'm like,
I
why
don't
are they
get that
Let's talk
either.
about how
to
fucking
bone?
weird that was. Like, because he was like, I don't know about this. I'm like, yeah, right. I don't know if I know about this.
And
Like,
not only did she want a bone there, but she was like, start a fire.
I want a fire. I want wine. I'm like, you know, they're gonna know people were fucking
I
in
know.
here,
I'm like-
literally fucking in here, and just figuratively, we were fucking in here.
There's a literal murderer in the town that there is.
Well, see, I don't think they know though.
Did
because,
she not know?
No, because because one of the things was they were like, we gotta find her and tell her her
Then
whole
how
fucking
did
family's
she-
dead. You
then
know.
how did she assume that she had all this time to have a bath, to
I
start
have
a
no
fire?
And why would you like if someone's about to have sex, you'd be like, I made you a bath. Like, and she's like, oh, thank you, Tommy. I'm like, bitch, you were across the hall and you didn't hear water running.
Nothing. Like,
You didn't
come
hear
on.
anything or see anyone. You know those steps made fucking noise. No, she's just like.
And I doubt it was
and
even
just
warm. I mean,
you
it was a
break
snowman.
You break into someone's house to fucking blow dry your hair and listen to country music. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck is she
That
doing?
whole
Like,
scene was just, I don't.
it was like
know.
we need the movie to be a little longer. What can we do here?
Yeah.
Let's have this long expose where the dude gets killed, and then we'll kill her by humping her against the.
And was that even wine? It looked like it was one of those like cheap like
Pink
like-
champagne.
No,
kind
it
of
was
a
like
thing.
the big bottles of basically like sparkling wine cooler shit. Like it's
Oh,
not real
yeah.
wine, but it's not.
Boone's Farm?
It's like no, it's like
It's like the.
it's like they
upgrades
have
on
like
that.
they come in actual bottles,
Ciders?
like Reuniti
Like a cider?
and shit like that. Like it's just weird brands of like they always show like the white people having fun. Like remember the sparkling wine cooler? I'm like it's still a wine cooler, you fucking moron. All right, have fun skiing.
Yeah, I actually in my notes it said, so did they just break in the house to bone?
That's what it seemed like.
No, apparently like we're gonna get drunk and sit by the fire and take a bath later.
And then act surprised
Yeah.
when the people who live here actually show back up.
Ugh, the snowman carjacks a guy, like, and then he melts.
So
and then
now
he's a
thinking
snowman
about it,
again,
nobody knows
and-
that they're dead. Now that I'm thinking about that,
Yeah, I know they're just gonna show up at
it
the
just
house.
cuts to the next morning where they're burying the bottles and all that.
Yeah,
And it's like, all right, no one's gone home yet. Like you're gonna find two
You're
bodies.
gonna find
in
more
your-
dead
Dead
bodies.
bodies.
You're gonna find a body
your
in
house.
your bathroom.
how did the boyfriend die?
The icicles.
That's,
That's
right.
when
That-
Jack
that's-
Frost
yeah.
learned he could shoot icicles, but then never use them again.
Never
'cause
used
why would
them
you stop
again.
using
Except
those?
no, he used them at the end to stab the cop.
They forgot.
But yeah,
remember?
he did the like Terminator 2 scene where he like
Yeah, where he
poked him for like
slowly
he was
did
kind of
it.
just fucking with him. But I'm like, you can shoot those fuckers out. So the whole scene where they're trying to get out of the window at the sheriff's station, where they go into the cells and they do all the aerosol cans and they try to blow them up that that first time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could have just been shooting these fucking icicles like aimlessly and just hit somebody, you know, or even broke the window like once you reformed.
They
or
probably
whatever.
forgot that they were able to do that.
And like it was super lucky that all of those aerosol cans were super full.
Oh,
And why would you just have like they were like, here are the holding cells and here's a random closet or like whatever the fuck it was with a bunch
Yeah.
of aerosol cans for no reason?
Random cleaning closet.
They were
How
they also did too-
convenient.
And they
Is they
forgot
weren't-
about the town gun nut
Yeah.
who was in the cell.
Oh,
No,
this
he
is
was just a. He reminded me of the gun guy
From
the
Silver
dick from
Bullet,
Silver Bullet.
yeah.
He was like 20% off. I'm like,
Yeah,
why do you
everyone-
keep trying to give away your business, man? Not this is a small town. And I know you
Mhm.
need business, but if you give everyone a fucking discount, like, you're not making any money.
I know. I put gun nut strikes again with ammo cell.
Small
this
town.
movie was
Hey,
just all over the place.
That
Because even-
is consumerism. You
Because
see,
even what is it the the guys who were investigating it, that weird scientist guy, and what that
The
FBI.
Was the guy
Vigilante?
actually an FBI agent?
I don't know.
Because
I
part
think
of
he
it
was
is
just a hired hand.
Well, no, like because he was like some federal mercenary, basically, or something.
Yeah,
So-
because like they
so,
call
like,
him
so,
and
yeah, like,
because in the beginning he calls them and he was like, "Put me through to the FBI," and like,
yeah. So like to me, I was like, okay, he seems like a legit guy, and like all you know that he's an FBI agent is that little voiceover of like, we have
That's
somebody on the phone,
Yeah.
dude. And then his weird plaque behind him that's like FBI.
FBI guy.
I'm like, all right, it's small budget. You have to convey that somehow. But then he totally didn't act like he was in the FBI like the rest of the fucking movie.
He just
No.
acted like a dick the rest of the movie. Like, you don't tell me what to do. You
I'm
listen
pretty
to
sure
me.
they made him grow that little beard thing that he had for this film because I was like, you shouldn't have that. Like, that doesn't look fully thought out.
I love
still,
that his agent manners.
Yeah, but even
Agent
still with him, though,
Manners,
when he
yeah.
kept saying how, I can get a team in here by midnight to handle the situation, I'm like,
And it wasn't he supposed to be local?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't he have known all that shit?
That snow happens.
Yeah, like shouldn't he have known? Like, well, fuck, we're not gonna be able to get down the freeway and this and that, like all that shit, like all that shit that he said. Like, you
well,
should
my
know
point
that.
was, if they knew that there was something that happened with Jack Frost initially, and that other dude can corroborate with that his DNA or whatever merged with whatever that chemical scrap stuff was, shouldn't
It's
you think
genetic research,
genetic research?
Acidic solution.
what is it?
Acidic solution.
Oh, what's that?
Oh.
Caution. Oh, it says caution. I was trying to say
Acidic
what
solution. But anyways, if you know he had an idea of what that stuff was, don't you think he would have been like, "Oh crap, let's before shit hits the fan, let's get the whole crew here before shit actually starts to hit the fan."
Do you think the federal government moves
Hey.
that quickly?
They can.
But it wasn't
They
even
can.
the federal government. It seemed
Well, it's
more
the
of like a
FBI.
company.
Still, though, he kept talking about
Well,
how
no,
he-
but it's like,
it felt more like the
well, I mean,
company.
okay, you think
But-
the company should have got there sooner?
But the thing
or
he
the,
kept
Yeah.
saying
the
is that
FBI.
whoever it was, though, the dude kept
Well, the
saying that
guy
he
was
can
from the
get
FBI.
people-
The other guy was from the company.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but they kept the
Okay,
FBI guy.
Well,
He
the
kept saying-
FBI guy tried to get people in there, but it was too late.
Well,
like
he
a
said
moron.
he kept saying that he can get people here by whatever time, and he says, "Oh, I got a crew on here." I'm like, "What the fuck haven't you called them? You keep saying."
Well, they
you
had
have-
to. I think that whole thing was he had to have the other scientist guy like confirm.
Yeah, because
what
they put
thought.
that little dipstick.
Yeah,
in
because he puts the
Oh,
thing
okay.
in there in the puddle.
But
and
no,
then it
once
kinda
they started,
confirms that
once they
shit.
started having murders, it was like,
They
fuck it,
should've
let's
been like,
call
"Shit,
the guys in.
we're
We
in
don't
over
have
our
to
head."
confirm shit.
Okay,
like,
this movie was shit, but I have to say, my favorite part is at the very first death, or not the very first death, when they find the old man.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there, the three of them are talking, and like the chair's rocking, and they're just talking. He's like, "Will you stop that?"
Oh, yeah, get your foot off that. Is
Foot
what
off
he
the
said.
chair. And he's like, "Sorry."
Yeah, the cops in this movie are ridiculous.
The one cop was just like dumb and horny, and the other one was like, "Oh, well, I don't really want to do that, but I'm a cop. I guess I have to."
They were all dumb. Like the guy that gets
The-
carjacked, the cop that gets carjacked,
Yeah.
literally stops because there's a snowman
with a stop
holding a
sign.
stop
I'm like,
sign.
why don't you go around him?
I was like, I would just run into it. It's a fucking snowman.
I don't think
It
I'd run
reminded
into it.
me
I'd go
of
around
the
him.
Simpsons movie
Who
where
knows what-
Homer made that really crappy stop sign.
Stop.
Stop. I'm like, this is what this
Wrong
reminds me
way.
of. Just go straight through it.
One day. That's right.
That's what it reminded me of when he saw that.
Yelled in one way. No, the my favorite character, if I have to pick one. No, she's definitely
I'm not
my
picking
favorite
my favorite character.
My favorite character, I don't know her name, but the sheriff's secretary or whatever her fucking name was. Her just like snotty ass attitude to everyone. Like,
Oh yeah, she was
she was
fire.
like, "You're
I'll
right,
give you
he is
that.
an asshole." I'm like,
I love how she just didn't give the FBI guy coffee.
yeah, she just like
Yeah, she's like, fuck
clinked
that
his
guy.
cup and just
Mhm.
walked away.
Yeah,
like,
she did clink his cup.
fuck you.
She knew what was up.
I'll say she did the best acting of the whole movie. I will
All right,
say. Okay.
you know, I amend mine. She was better than Shannon Elizabeth.
She was good with her timing. She
She
said her
was.
lines accurately. She was funny. I'll give her that.
We have an update on the name.
Marla.
Marla.
Marla who?
So Marla was awesome.
Yeah, she was awesome. But
Her
she
name
was
is
just
Marsha Clark.
What?
Marsha Clark.
That's hilarious. Not to be confused with the O.J. Simpson prosecutor.
No, not to be confused. Because that'd be a weird thing that should be
Weird
doing.
career turn. She's
Didn't
like,
they
I was
have
in
the
one.
same hair,
Well,
though?
no, it was like I was in one movie and it was fucking Jack Frost. I am not cut out to be an actor. I'm going back to law school.
I gotta go back to law school. Why did they keep letting that kid bake?
Well, why didn't the fucking mom watch the kid?
I know. Where the fuck did he get
No,
antifreeze from?
Like they were okay. They were in the kitchen and she's just
Together.
like sitting with her back towards him, like looking out the window, like smoking a cigarette or some shit. I
What?
think
I don't
remember
even
if she had a
remember.
cigarette or not, but
I was so bored.
she was just staring off out the window and he's just sitting there cooking. And I remember I was thinking, like, what's that big bottle on the fucking counter right there. Like, it just seemed out of place.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
didn't
like,
even
well,
notice
now
it.
I know what
Now
it
you know
fucking
what
was.
it That's the other thing I don't get. The freaking kid was going to kill his dad.
So
the hell
what
do you
does
think
that
was gonna
tell
do
you,
with antifreeze?
parents? Don't eat anything that your kids make you.
Especially if they're under a certain age. Because what, he was maybe, 8?
I don't know. He was old enough to know what the fuck antifreeze was,
I put
but not what it does.
in it so you wouldn't get cold. Oh, he was so annoying.
He was
Oh, my-
so terrible. Sorry, kid.
So annoying.
not
I know
for
you were
you.
just a kid, but
You had no choice.
We hope you've gotten better.
Oh my gosh, that kid
it
was.
was so bad.
But still, though, again, that's the one thing. When what the hell was he making? Was it like a brownie cake?
It was
batter?
okay.
Oh,
It looked.
what the hell
It was oatmeal.
Yeah,
I
he
think
said
oatmeal. Oh, it was oatmeal.
chocolate. I think there was marshmallows and antifreeze. So
It
something
was
like that.
it was like Oreo brown at the end.
Yeah, like he must have like just crushed cookies or just
Yeah.
put a bunch of chocolate or
He
something.
makes something else later on. I don't
Something with
remember.
spaghetti.
Was
I
it-
remember that.
Was it
Oh, it was like the
cookies?
frosty. It was like the
Snowman
frosty, the snowman
cookies.
cookies. But it looked like he was putting like coconut on there or
Yeah.
some shit. Like
I was like, why do they keep letting this kid cook?
I know. I'm like, what
Get
do
him
you
out of
do?
the
Why did you leave
kitchen.
him at home to go buy more fucking groceries?
And
to
then the
make a
mom yelled
mess?
at him
Like,
too because she kept making a mess. She was like, "Listen here, I just finished cleaning up one of your experiments. Now I got to clean up the other one."
Good thing she didn't eat it.
Yeah, it's a really good thing that they didn't eat it. This kid would have killed everybody.
That movie would have took a dark turn.
It would have been a better movie had it taken that dark turn and everybody just died.
Because the kid killed everybody because he
Yeah,
couldn't cook.
if the kid would have been the killer, it would have been such a better movie.
Ryan's Revenge.
Ryan's Revenge. Okay, we just
I didn't
need
want
a sequel.
them to freeze.
We need a sequel now.
There is a
But there is a sequel.
Is there?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Oh God, I don't want to watch it.
If you think Angie should watch it,
No,
please email us
no.
at
Yes, email
podcast
us.
at
Don't do that
Yes.
to me. No.
Let's talk about the snowman and how shitty the costume, whatever the hell you want to call it, was. Where sometimes you could see it talk and other times you couldn't see it talk.
It looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
It looks like they took a Doughboy costume and like just added stuff to it.
Just rounded it out at the bottom.
Rounded it out, made it look like snow-ish, I guess.
Well, the thing that was funny is when you would actually see it move, it looked like the weird, horrible rubber suit.
Yeah.
And when you would just see it chilling, it was an actual, like,
Yeah,
snowman.
it didn't look bad when it was just by itself, but there was a scene, after the fire at the police station, he goes to pick up one of the coal pieces and it's like you just see it like it basically looked like a big oven mitt.
Yeah. And they never fully explain why he's super strong. Like, yeah, I know he mixed with the genetic solution.
I know,
or whatever,
but you're still fucking water and ice, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, how could you be that strong? How can you
'cause,
shove
like,
a full fucking
the
axe down a
whole-
guy's throat? That makes no
you know,
sense.
snap the guy's head back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It doesn't make
he
sense.
can freeze and unfreeze, so I
At will.
guess.
And I hated that. It made it so cheesy. Like, he's just all of a sudden appearing
Again,
places.
Okay, again, you have to have a
Popping up.
way for him to get into places. Where, like,
I
you can't just
know.
lock him out.
But it's literally just water.
But then again, it's like-
streaming through a keyhole.
We can defeat him with these blow dryers.
That made no sense.
It didn't.
It made no
Hey,
sense.
what
We're
are
ju- we're
you
just-
doing? No, yeah, it was that whole scene. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
really?
And
Like,
he's just like, ow, ow, stop, no.
It made no sense because it took him that long to melt down, and then he all of a sudden magically turns back into a snowman.
I know. What's the point then? Because it's like we can melt him or the heat. It's all about heat. I'm like, okay, but you blew him up
Yeah.
twice,
Yeah.
and that did nothing. So why does the heat do anything? Like he's just hot. Like he doesn't like it. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Then all you have to do is just shove him in, what is it, an oven.
And if he's an acid, wouldn't you just need to get like vinegar? Doesn't that dissolve acid?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was. Well, I know it's. If Fight Club's taught me anything, don't use water. Use vinegar.
No,
But of
don't
all
use water.
things to defeat him, freaking antifreeze. Like,
Right.
really?
I guess that
And it's
makes
not
sense.
even- it's not
but it
even
doesn't even
like-
defeat him if there's a fucking sequel.
It's not even like a
But we don't
vat
know. We haven't
of
seen the sequel, so we don't know how he
antifreeze.
comes
They didn't
back.
even give us like a factory drop-in. It's in the back of a fucking pickup truck that somebody drives into
In
a
a pool?
building. Yeah, it's like a hillbilly pool filled with fucking antifreeze.
Oh,
And then,
I know it would have taken a lot more than 5 minutes to do. all
oh
that.
yeah. And not only does the cop guy go swimming in it, but he throws his kid in
He
there.
baptizes his son. I remember that. It was
Yeah,
like he's just
because-
dunking him like, oh.
Because Ryan's like, oh, Dad, look
And
at
that's
this
an-
arm you forgot.
That's an
Oh,
official
God.
baptism because there was a priest there.
Yes.
That's true.
I don't get how you
The
got the whole
Church of
town
Jack
on
Frost.
all of a sudden the same page to decide, let's get all the antifreeze poured into this hillbilly
Right.
pickup.
Well, it was just the one guy. It wasn't the whole town.
No,
No,
they
because
were
they got
all
the whole
bringing
town,
them in.
remember?
Yeah, they were all bringing in
No.
the bottles of antifreeze.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
Because
thought it was
that's what
just
they did the
because I
whole-
thought it was just the one guy because he was like, "Go, come back in 5 minutes, get the antifreeze or whatever." Right?
Was it?
Just the one
He
guy.
was the owner of the hardware store, and he had the antifreeze. In his
Ah.
store.
Yeah, because he was like, "Yeah, I got
Oh,
some."
okay.
He was the opportunistic businessman.
Oh
of
yeah,
the-
then it would have taken him.
yeah. 'Cause
way
it was just him and the
longer.
kid because he was like, "Take Billy or fucking Ryan or whatever the fuck his name is."
The
Take
thing
him
that I
with
just
you."
remember that I thought was hilarious is when that crazy old man went ape shit and started beating the shit out of all the snowmen that were for the competition.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
the snowmen, they're alive, they're
they're
alive.
alive, they're alive. And I know, and Agent
What-
Manners just punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Like what? Why are we punching this guy in the face?
Because he's destroying
Well,
a bunch
okay,
of snowmen.
what was with the scene in just before the end when he gets him to go in and they go upstairs and that thing and he's like knocking on those doors and I'm like, are people just in here having sex right now? Like what the
I
fuck?
don't even know.
Because there was like weird like random like voices like like they were saying stuff and I couldn't quite make him out, but I was like,
Oh yeah, behind the doors. Yeah.
yeah, because he was like knocking and then he had to go into that one
The
green,
one
the
empty
one with the
one?
green light
Yeah.
coming out. I'm like, why is there a green light in this room?
It did. It makes no sense.
They just needed
It
more.
It made no
film.
sense. This
Oh, my
this
gosh.
whole. I feel like somebody was like, "Well, we can make a movie with this stuff that we have," and then they were like, "Oh shit, no, we can't. We need like a
They
story."
didn't. They didn't
and-
even have snow.
For,
the-
what was it? Snowton.
Snowton?
Yeah,
Snowton?
well, yeah,
Yeah,
a town called
Snowtown or
Snowton.
something
It's
like
like
that,
Snowminton. That's what it was.
Snowminton.
Because I was like Snow Mountain.
And I
What?
love how they were just the whitest people when he's like, "I'm gonna get my guys in here, and there's a storm coming in from Denver," and then the cop and Marla are just like, "Ha ha ha ha! You're not gonna get anybody in here. There's so
Tell 'em
much
I'm
snow coming our way." Like, ugh.
Hey, Marla delivers.
And Marla just delivered, but
She's
still.
probably the only redeeming quality of this movie.
And,
Yeah, let's have a sequel. With
and you
just
know,
Marla.
I love you, Marla, but you're not worth to watch this movie. Sorry.
We're gonna have to watch a sequel now just
No,
to
we're
see how he
not.
comes back.
No, I'm gonna make the long-awaited sequel.
The long-awaited sequel, or Ryan's
I'll do,
Revenge.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is. It's Ryan's Revenge.
No, I want Marla versus Jack Frost. That's all I
Mm-hmm.
want. Marla had better one-liners than fucking Jack Frost did.
She did. She really did. She
Yeah,
was, and just
was
her
good.
look, like she could act with her face. Because every time that cop walked in, she was just giving them that what the fuck face. Like she was like,
And
no.
somebody died. She just wrote down
Somebody
died.
Yes.
I love how at the end, like when they get Jack Frost to go into the town center or whatever the fuck that was, she goes to the cop. She's like, "Your place or mine?
I know.
Let's get the fuck out of here."
And then we don't see them anymore after that, do we?
No.
Oh, they're boning.
Oh, yeah.
She just gave it.
Well,
up.
hell,
Like,
I
screw it.
mean, they probably are like, this might be our last night. Let's-
Well, if there's a crazy snowman,
Snowman,
running
yeah.
around your town full of snow
I get
in
it.
the middle of the winter, like, all right,
go get
well,
you some, Marla.
let's
Do
go have
you,
a
girl.
bath and some wine and a
No,
roaring
you
fire.
don't need all that. When death is on the line.
That's how everyone gets down in this town, apparently.
Apparently.
You take a bath and
You
Well,
gotta
maybe
break
it's
into
so
someone's
cold.
Blow
You
dry
gotta
my
warm
hair.
yourself up before you can touch each other. Because if somebody
break
touches
into
you,
somebody's
you
house and
freeze
do
to
it.
death.
What did Shannon Elizabeth's character, Jill, what did she think that Tommy was doing to the fucking water? Because she's like, don't do that. And I'm like, was he poking you? Like, what are you talking about right now? And then
No,
she's
she
like,
says, don't
she's
put
like,
cold
yeah.
water
She's
in.
like, don't put cold water in here, whatever. I'm like,
You don't
do you
the
hear any
freaking
water?
I
air.
know.
Where is this cold? Do you think he's peeing in there? What do you think he's doing?
It's Shannon Elizabeth.
She didn't write the fucking movie, man.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's why in American Pie I was like, all right, you need to play someone that doesn't speak English very well.
And that
It
she
makes
did.
sense.
No comment.
We have made a list
Just
now
get
of
naked
the
and don't
people
talk too much.
who Angie does not want to see in movies together.
So when Billy dies, I noticed there's so many random like people talking in the background of this fucking movie. So when Billy dies and the dads are arguing, like the sheriff is arguing with Billy's dad, and he's like, "It couldn't have been a fight. He's 2 feet taller
He's
than
8.
Billy, or he's 2 feet taller than Ryan." Someone in the background's like, "Not anymore." You hear that in the movie? You're like, "Not anymore." And what's with the random idiot
Yeah, the random idiot.
The idiot guy.
He just
wasn't him.
because he closes the door on the two cops, on Marla and the other cop. That's why they're like, your place or mine, because they're stuck outside because the idiot closed the door.
No, okay, and he's like waving at Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah,
while
and he's
walking down the
walking
street.
through another
and then,
scene.
No, and then at the end of the movie,
In the end
as they're
credits?
doing
Yeah.
no, not the end credits. At the end of the movie when they're showing that like tracking shot where they're handing the bottles like in the line to bury him. You see him in the background putting antifreeze in one of the fucking cars. He has one of the bottles and he's putting it in a car behind them. And I'm like, I love the idiot. The idiot's actually my
Right.
favorite part of the fucking movie.
See, if this just would have been a
forgot about the
straight horror
All right, I want
comedy,
Jack Frost 2, The Idiot's Revenge.
it should have just been a B comedy horror, and they amp up the comedy. That's what they should have done. If they just would have taken it further with the comedy, they
I
wouldn't
would've-
need to taken it any further with the
I
practical
would have
effects.
I
or
would
the
have been
blood.
fine if they amped up either the comedy or the horror.
Right? Either one.
it was like,
Did
you
see
can't
the clip of
pick
him
one.
pouring it in there.
You can't skimp on both
I gotta
of
see
these,
this now.
man.
I gotta see this. Oh yeah, he's in the background. Oh yeah, yeah.
Weirdest thing.
He's in
filling
the
it up.
background filling it up.
I want more idiot.
Yeah, and at the end credits, there's
How
actually
many times did you see the
yeah,
idiot?
how many times did you see the idiot? I'm like, now I want to go back and count the idiot.
No, see, you have
I
to watch it
didn't.
again now.
I
See,
didn't
now we
because
got,
I
now we got
refused.
games
All right.
to
No.
play when we
we gotta
watch this
watch
movie.
it on mute then, because I'm okay with that.
We'll make our own dialogue. We'll do our own. What is it? Bad lip reading.
My boob hurts. This movie made my boob hurt.
What?
I don't even know how a movie can be so bad like your boob hurts.
Do you have boobs?
Kind of.
Have man boobs.
Man boobs are different than girl boobs.
They still sweat.
Yes, they do. We would sweat in Florida.
Well, this movie made my boob hurt. Just one, not even both.
Well, it wasn't that bad then.
No, it was awful. Didn't even get the appreciation of the other one.
Do I want? No, yes, I want to know what happened.
What happened with what?
When-
How it made my boob hurt? I don't know. It
Yes,
just started
it just
hurting,
started
and
hurting.
I just blamed it on the movie right now.
Well, one wasn't watching the movie. The other one was watching. It was like, oh, really?
One was asleep. The other one.
Like, screw this.
This movie is so awful. I can't even think of entertaining things to say other than my boob hurt.
Other than watching it on mute, next time we watch it, and we make our own dialogue.
Ooh, I'm down for
Yeah,
that.
someone do that and send it to us.
Yes.
If we like it, we'll throw it on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll watch it.
A bad
Not
lip
the
reading.
whole fucking movie. I want like a minute clip, man. I don't want. Don't be wasting your.
Or just supercut
whole
the idiot in the
afternoon.
background.
Supercut the idiot. Yeah, show us how many times.
Yeah,
he is.
how many? I bet there's a idiot supercut somewhere. If not,
There has to
I'm
be.
making one.
We're gonna have to.
So
Yeah, is that how you feel about this movie?
pretty
Pretty much
much.
sums it up. All right, well, this is gonna be a quick one for
It
us,
is
folks.
going to be a quick one. I super apologize.
Let's see,
We
what's
had
in the
no
news?
idea going into this how bad this film was going to be.
Why did the sheriff do his random Jack Frost impressions?
Nobody knows.
I
Why
think
was
that
why
was
was
like-
Jack Frost just pissed at the one cop and not
Because he
the
busted
judge
him.
or the attorney?
Because he
or
just
anybody
happened to
else?
be on the outskirts of Snowmonton.
He's like, you're gonna regret this. Why
And
are
I-
you angry at him? You were on a spree, man.
I will
You're gonna
find
get
a
caught.
way.
That's what happens when you're on a spree.
I love how when it showed that flashback scene where the cop finds him like on the side of the road or whatever. and
Yeah.
he's basically like, "Oh, I'm just taking a piss." And I'm like, "Really? Like that was a like you just think you're gonna be okay with it? Like you're still not gonna be like."
And for
why are
being
you
such a
pissing in
ferocious,
public, you know? Like,
ferocious killer, like
Ferocious?
ferocious,
ferocious
a
in the livers?
a ferocious killer. He just kind of like gives up. Like he's like, stay away from the car and get on your hands and knees. And Jack Frost is just like, okay, but you're gonna regret this. Like, no, you would put up some sort of a fight if
And then
you
for
were
whatever
a serial
reason, that sheriff
murderer.
had like PTSD for busting him.
Yeah, just
Well,
busting him.
I think it was like, okay, to me, I took that as like he's a small town sheriff, and obviously there's no fucking
Oh, yeah,
crimes. Like
and-
the when the old man is and they find the body, like all three of them, like there hasn't been a murder in our whole lifetime in this fucking town.
and they're
right?
like, call Doc whatever.
yeah. There's no coroner. There's just the one doc. So it was like
Like,
have him
call
bring the
Doc,
station
whatever.
wagon and the Ziploc bag. But yeah, it's like I took it as like he was like, holy shit! Like I just stumbled upon this, and like knowing what the guy has done to
What
other
he
people,
was.
like it could have been him kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
And
if
plus-
I hadn't trusted my instincts, that could have been me. And I think Also, getting the weird fucking creepy ransom letter
Yes.
notes from jail, like, I will find a way to
That's
kill
what I
you
was
and your
gonna say.
family. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, why was he allowed to send?
I know, like-
how did he get his fucking address?
I'm assuming you can find the
Public
sheriff
record.
station or
well,
whatever.
I hope that's what happened, but it's like, why
Oh,
is he
yeah.
allowed to send fucking ransom letters to people?
Well, no, 'cause
like jail opens your letters, like you know what I mean?
Like, all right, well, he's
It
okay.
doesn't have to make
It
sense,
just, says,
Angie.
it just says I will find a way.
Yeah.
It didn't
I
say
have-
anything threatening.
I have way
like-
too much serial killer knowledge, so I'm using that to
Yes.
apply to my jail.
But we can't with this, though.
That's
There's
going
I
to
know.
apply to this.
That's
movie.
true,
That's a
yes,
whole other
yes.
podcast.
Yes, we can't apply
Sorry.
any of that to this because then we
See,
have to
I'm still
explain
trying to
a
talk
bunch of
about other
stuff.
stuff besides this movie.
Here's the thing that I didn't fucking get with this town either, right? The town finds out that the old man got murdered or whatever. So the sheriff was like, "All right, go get the doc, go get this, like blah blah blah," right? And he calls the FBI guy to make sure that, Jack Frost was dead or whatever. By the time he gets back to the sheriff's station, you've got a room full of like 6 or 8 people that are all pissed off, like, "We have a murderer in the town, and this and that's it." Later, when he gets them all in the town square, whatever the fuck that was, like the community center or whatever,
Yeah.
they're like cheering him and stuff. I'm like, what changed? Like the FBI guy showed up and you think like that's like he's on top of things, like
Yeah, nobody.
you're the best sheriff ever. He's like, all right, I talked to the reverend, he's gonna turn the furnace on. Everyone's like, yeah, like, everyone started like clapping for him,
I
like
know, and-
we're cheering for the furnace. Like,
And wasn't like didn't his kid just suspectedly kill another kid?
Yeah.
Like why would
I know
be
they were like,
cheering
"There's a
for
murderer
him?
in town." It was like, "No, your son did it. He's blaming the snowman." And I love that that's the first thing the fucking kid says later. He's like, "I told you it was the snowman."
Yeah, he does. Like I told you guys.
I
it
told
wasn't
you.
me.
I told you. Fuck you. And if what's his name was still alive, I'd tell him in his face. Why did that guy, the Jill's dad, Shannon Elizabeth's dad, that lost the son, right? That
Yeah.
family. Why, when he was out smoking and he thought it was the sheriff, because he was like, "Sam, did you come to make up?" And I'm like, that's a little fucking weird.
I know.
Like,
I thought it was the.
Again, there's a
The
lot of things that
dialogue.
just don't make any sense.
It hurts.
They
my
had
brain.
no script supervisor or what are those people called?
that's
Yeah.
the script supervisor makes sure that everything it runs like the way it should, because you don't film it in order. So if I lose an eye in one scene, we have to make sure that all the scenes afterwards, I don't have my fucking eye.
They didn't do their job because, like you said, they were pissed off at him in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they got happy at him at the end.
Well, they're small town people, and they're like, all right, we had one murder and the FBI showed up. He's on top of things.
Yes.
One murder in the past like 40 years, and I love how the other 2 cops were like, "You want to go steal some apples from the old guy?" Because they were like,
The dead old guy.
yeah, because they were like, "Oh, he used to steal his apples," like blah blah blah. And then after the sheriff leaves, the one cop that got killed by the stop sign snowman,
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm gonna go steal some apples." Like, is he really stealing now that the guy's dead?
Yeah, it still is.
And if you take apples from nature, is that stealing?
You want to get into that conversation? Okay.
I want to talk about anything besides this movie.
I just want to know how they bring Jack Frost back in the second one.
We're gonna have to
That's
watch it.
that's what we should do. That's what we should watch real quick.
No.
No,
Producer
Yeah.
Kim,
I already have it queued.
All right.
she's got it queued.
Before we start crying, should we do final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Yes.
Again, we're
Again.
sorry for how bad
We're
this
so
movie is.
sorry.
We should do another one. But
I wonder if we should start the podcast with that. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
all right, here's what we'll say in the beginning. Like, Scary Nerd would like to offer their deepest apologies for what's about to happen in this podcast, as none of us had seen Jack Frost before this podcast. So this episode, for lack of a better word, is going to be really shitty.
We
So-
hope you enjoyed listening to our hilarious commentary on how terrible this movie is.
If you don't continue with this podcast, we don't blame you.
We understand.
But please,
please don't
Please
judge
listen
us
to
on
it.
this.
please listen to it.
Please
Or, you
listen
know
to
what,
it.
at the very least, come back next week.
Yes.
Or you know what?
There's better
Make-
movies out there, I promise.
If you have a suggestion for a movie you want us to watch, please email us.
Yes.
We're running out of ideas here.
No, we're
Not
not.
really. It's just we picked a bad one this
We
week.
picked a
Yes.
bad one. We deeply apologize.
We do have a fan request for Blade 2.
We do,
so-
which we'll hopefully get to in January. We're looking to do some cool things in January, so hopefully Blade 2 will be coming in January. But
Maybe we make January just fan requests.
Ooh, yeah. January could be fan requests.
So email us, podcast@scarynerd.com.
Yep, we're also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can submit your suggestions there because I get all of those. If you would like to make more suggestions, just not in the month of January, you can log into patreon.com/scarynerd and support us on Patreon.
My final thought is, I'm sorry.
I second that.
And good night.
Hi, third. We are so sorry that we did this to you. We are so sorry that we did it to us.
It's okay if you
know
listen to. It's okay if you listen to the podcast. We understand if you don't watch this movie by listening to this podcast.
Yes, not
because
good.
You shouldn't watch it.
we had to watch it to do this. So, yeah, you're good just listening to us talk about.
We're
how
like
horrible this
we're
movie
like
is.
horror movie Jesus. Don't watch this.
Yes.
We watched this movie, so you didn't have to.
Yes.
We fell on the sword
And you know what?
for you.
This episode might not be the greatest either. So go listen to the stuff one. That's a real
Ooh,
good
the
one.
stuff
I
one's
like
good. The
stuff
Blood Rage one's really funny.
Why doesn't anyone like Idle Hands?
Really, Idle Hands is our lowest listen to. It is good, people.
you serious?
Go
I love that
download
episode.
Idle Hands and listen to it. And again, if you guys want to give us suggestions, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Any other thoughts, folks? Anything else you want to add to this episode that we're
No.
just crashing and burning on?
No.
All I have to say is, if you've ever thought about making a movie, just fucking do it, man. If you've ever thought about becoming a filmmaker, watch this movie and know that right now you can watch it on Amazon Prime. And the fact that the four of us had to watch it, somebody's getting royalties for it.
Yes.
Just make a fucking movie.
Just do it. Live your dreams.
Good night, everybody.
Good
We'll
night.
see you next
See you
week.
next week. This movie made my boob hurt.
Well, it ain't fucking frosty.
I was like, wait, you said that? I
No,
heard that.
that's fine.
It's all right. This is all going on the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was going to be directed by him with a $30 million budget.
Well, that makes okay.
25 million. That would have been on that.
If you would have had some.
Well, probably the snowman probably would have been better.
Oh, so much better.
World's most pissed off snow cone. No, no! Well, what do you know? Armed and dangerous. Bottom of the ninth, 4 dead. Here's the wind-up.